Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Flight Podcast. My name is Jacob Shanker.
And I'm Andrew Thomas.
Shut up and sit down.
Today, we're going over who we think have been the biggest stars and the biggest disappointments of the NBA playoffs. So, Jacob, who do you think has been the best player in these playoffs?
This may be a bit underrated, but I'm going to go with Donovan Mitchell. I mean, definitely has been amazing for the Jazz. I don't think anybody would have thought that Donovan Mitchell would have done as good as he's doing right now. He's averaging almost 36 points on 57% shooting from the field, 50% from the three, and 96% from the free throw line. That's 50, 50, and 90. That's absolutely insane. He's been shooting amazing. He's been playing amazing. And he's been leading that Jazz team to that 2-1 lead over the Nuggets right now. I mean, they have just been all around great. So who do you think has been the best player in the playoffs so far, Andrew?
I agree with you. It's crazy to think that the Jazz could possibly upset the Nuggets. And as we're streaming this podcast, the Jazz are up by 7 points in the third quarter with 3 minutes left. And Donovan Mitchell, being a stud, has 33 points already in the third quarter.
That's amazing.
So he's unless he goes on a cold streak, his averages are going to stay pretty good. And he's shooting 11 of 16 on 69%, a 69% field goal percentage, 100 from three, 100 from free throw.
That's amazing.
So he's been great. And if the Jazz upset the Nuggets, it will be Donovan Mitchell. He is the sole reason that they would have upset.
I agree with you. I mean, I definitely got to give credit, though, to Rudy Gobert, as he's been helping the Jazz on their defensive end. And Mike Conley, who on his first game back from being in quarantine, he dropped 27 points that helped the Jazz in that win. And that was just amazing. And so I think all around they've been definitely a big surprise. And I think they could upset the Nuggets. I think
they could too.
Yeah, I mean, I think the series could go either way, but it's definitely been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, but very quickly, numbers on Mike Conley. In the game, he has 17 points, 55% shooting, and 43 from three. And Rudy Gobert is 15 with 6 of 7. So they've been doing great.
They've been doing amazing. Another player that I want to touch up upon that has been doing amazing during the playoffs, who had one of the best games I've ever watched a player have today, and that is Luka Doncic. He had a 40-point triple-double. But I have to give this man some credit, because although that's amazing stat line, the biggest reason why I think he played amazing today was because of that 21-point deficit. And he led that Mavericks team without Porzingis to that win over the Clippers, which is just amazing. And given the fact the Clippers were all healthy, their whole team was healthy, and they still came back from that deficit. And I thought it was just amazing. So I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Hear my thoughts on the Clippers deficit?
Yeah. And Luka Doncic.
Well, I think that Luka Doncic is probably the best young star in the game. He was an MVP candidate, and looking at his stats from this game, he was phenomenal. And yes, I think that I agree with you. I think the best thing, even though we had a game winner, his best attribute to this game was that he led them back from 21.
Exactly.
It is a little upsetting to see that, as I did choose the Clippers to win the championship, but I cannot say no to greatness, because Luka Doncic was phenomenal today. This was the best game of the playoffs. I didn't watch it, but I saw the highlights, and it's just like, wow. You just think to yourself, wow.
I'm not a Mavericks fan, but when he hit that game winner, I was jumping out of my seat. I was so ecstatic. It was amazing to just see him, because if you were watching him during that game, and when he would hit that step back three that he does so many times throughout all of his games, in that game, he did that. I think 3 of those times, though, he was airballing it. So when he was shooting that shot for the game winner, I thought, oh, it's probably going to be an airball. And then swoosh, went right in, and I was shocked. I was completely shocked.
Yeah, that is what I call greatness.
Exactly. He's going to go very, very far in this league.
Yes.
Another player, though, that I think has not been getting as much credit is Jimmy Butler. He has been playing lockdown D on those Pacers, averaging 3 steals and a block. TJ Warren ain't getting nothing on him, and he's showing out against that matchup. So I want to hear your thoughts on Jimmy Butler and how he's been playing.
Jimmy Butler's been doing great. I disagree with you on the TJ Warren matter. I think TJ Warren has been doing pretty good in the playoffs. I'm looking at his stats.
I mean, but compared to how he was playing in the bubble, he was playing like
yeah, but
player.
Yes, I agree. But at the same time, TJ Warren is still averaging 20 points, 3 steals, 3 assists, 7 rebounds, and he's shooting good from the field, but not great from 3. I will say, though, TJ Warren has been doing good, and Jimmy Butler has been doing exceptional on defense. Of course, he can always be doing better on offense, but it's Jimmy Butler. So
yeah, he's been doing.
I think the Heat are definitely one of the most underrated teams in the NBA. I think that they're really good.
100%. He's been leading that Heat team to that 3-0 lead in the series right now. And to be honest with you, I think that they could sweep them. I think tomorrow they have a very good chance at beating that Pacers team. I mean, just looking at how I've been watching a couple of their games and just looking at how the Heat have been playing and how the Pacers have been playing, I really think the Heat are just playing better basketball. And I think in the long run, the Heat are going to be able to come out in this game 4 and be able to sweep the Pacers.
Yeah. Although one improvement Jimmy Butler can make is shoot way more efficiently. Even though he is shooting 57% from 3, it's on 2 attempts. And he's shooting 41 from the entire field, which means he's shooting in the mid-30s from 2.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Butler, though, is generally not the player you count on to make that shot. I mean, he definitely needs to work on his shot a bit more, but he's definitely still getting buckets, and he's getting the Heat the win. So
yeah,
he can get
and also not to mention, I do hate to say this, but the refs are giving him a lot of free throws. He took 20 alone on the 22nd last night, which I do have a problem with the officiating. I think the refs need to start getting some stuff straight. Yeah, as much as I love that the playoffs are back, the refs need to do better.
Yeah, the officiating has been
slightly questionable.
It's been slightly questionable to say the least. I mean, the Lakers and Blazers game in Game 3, the Lakers attempted 43 free throws, which
that was ridiculous.
That's a third of their points. That's a lot. I mean, though that they didn't make a lot of them. So I mean, I think they definitely the one aspect of the Lakers,
they missed 15.
Yeah, they need to work on their free throw shooting.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, given the fact that game was definitely a great game overall. I mean, LeBron James dominated and showed his dominance. Anthony Davis with an amazing second half. I mean, the Lakers showed out again and again. And, I mean, Damian Lillard, he did really well, but I kind of expected more from him because what I've been seeing him through this series is, yes, he is a clutch player, but he's been doing more during the first half than the second half. And I think he really needs to switch those roles because, yes, if you do well in the first half and it can get you up a lot, but you need a player that can show out in the end to get you that win.
Yeah. My thoughts on Dame, I think, yes, I do agree. He can be doing better. But at the same time, Dame is also he did beat the Lakers in Game 1. I have to give Dame credit where credit's due.
Oh, yeah, I got to give him props for that. I got to give him props for that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just how he's been playing, though, in Game 2 and Game 3. I mean, he's got to do more in the end. I mean, he's getting those points up, but most of them are in the first half, which is definitely impressive to be able to get a lot of points in the first half. But he should be doing more in the second half.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
questionable. It's I don't know why he chooses to do more in the first half overall than the second half, but
Well, I don't think he chooses, but
yeah, but I mean, he's got to
he
do
can be doing more. We can
exactly.
agree on that.
He can be doing more. I mean, obviously, another player that we don't want to miss upon. Well, two players you don't want to miss upon that have been doing amazing. Giannis Antetokounmpo and James Harden been leading both of their teams. Both of them have a 2-1 in that series right now. They both have been doing great. James Harden shooting amazing. Giannis doing really well all around. But
Yeah, Giannis is ridiculous.
I do gotta say though, I think he could be playing better defense. He's not been playing as well defense as he normally does.
Giannis or James Harden?
Giannis.
Giannis. Okay.
Um, yeah, no, I mean Giannis. He's an amazing defender, but I just don't think he's been playing that defensive player candidate type of level. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I do agree with you on that. Of course, as almost all the time, you can be playing better. All the players can be playing better. But yeah, looking at Giannis's stats, 31 points, and 16 rebounds, which is ridiculous. 6 assists, but yeah, only a steal and 0.3 blocks. You'd expect more from Giannis, but I think his offense has been overplaying his defense.
100%.
So, yeah.
16 rebounds, 31 points. That's amazing.
16 rebounds is absolutely shocking.
That's amazing. I mean, but he's that guy. He's that big man that could just get all those boards and those points.
Yeah.
And that's what the
And it's not even a matter of defensive rebounds. He's averaging 3 offensive rebounds.
That's
damn good.
amazing. Yeah.
That's damn good.
Incredible. As this first round is coming close to an end, we're sort of a little past the middle of the first round. Who has been a player that has just been disappointing to you, Andrew?
Oh boy, this is the most clear answer I have ever known. If any of you think of somebody else, just listen to me. As much as I hate to do this, Paul George has been goodness bad.
Playoff P.
I'm going to read you some numbers. This is the numbers. 15 points, 29% from the field, 22 from 3, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.3 steals. It's like, okay, rebounds, he hasn't changed. Assists, he got better. Turnovers, he's fine. He is shooting
Terrible.
horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible.
Mm-hmm.
He is shooting from the field how good Russell Westbrook shoots from 3.
That's god awful because Russ is not very good at shooting threes.
Yeah. There's something wrong.
That's a P for you, though. I mean, yeah, I definitely – I don't want to cut you off right now, but I definitely agree with you about Paul George. I know both of us, we put him thinking that he would be a top 10 playoff player. And right now, I don't even put him in top 30.
In game 1, he was clearly doing great. Game 1 was his best game, obviously, but yeah, as we said, terrible. Yeah, literally terrible.
He really just has to get into the groove. I mean, I don't think it's really just him. I think it's the Clippers as a whole. Because, I mean, after watching them play, they are a great team. I know you think that they're going to win the championship, and they do have a lot of depth. But they just have not been able to show out. I mean, I knew this was going to happen. I had a feeling because I just time and time again, I've seen all the potential that Paul George has, and he just can't execute it.
Well, yes, but also at the same time, a reason that they're not winning is because Pat Beverly isn't playing. And as I looked it up before, the Clippers, the Kawhi and Paul George obviously are their biggest impactors, but they're 11-11 without Patrick Beverly.
Wow.
I think he's the best or one of the best guard defenders, perimeter.
Yeah.
So with him on Luka Doncic, if next game he goes on Luka, Luka's going to have a tough time.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick Beverly, he's definitely an amazing player, but still, I mean, the Mavericks, I definitely could see this series going to Game 7 and going either way. I mean, a big thing, yeah, Patrick Beverley's great for his defense, but he's not that star player. Paul George is better. Lou Williams is better. Lou Williams did do well today. I'm not saying he did bad. Montrezl Harrell is better.
Lou Williams didn't do good? Lou Williams hit 36 points today.
I said Lou Williams did do well today.
Oh, okay. I thought you said didn't. I was going to go cuckoo.
Nah, he did well today. But Lou Williams is better than Patrick Beverley. And there's a bunch of players that I think are better than Patrick Beverley. He's like their fourth or fifth option on the team. Porzingis
but we're not talking about offense. Offense isn't a problem.
No, but not even offense. He's still their fourth or fifth option. And Porzingis is their second option. And without him, they were still able to beat that Clippers team coming back from a 20-point deficit. I mean, that's something the Clippers have to work on. Doc Rivers has to do something with this Clippers team. I don't know what it is, but that's just what I think he really has to do.
Yeah. It's all about that. They all have to step up. Besides Kawhi, obviously, because Kawhi's being Kawhi. Kawhi's doing fantastic.
Kawhi's doing great. The only problem, though, I think he has to do a little bit better closing out in games.
Yeah.
A bit. I like watching him today. He really couldn't close out in the fourth quarter. He did well in the beginning of the OT, but he couldn't close out in the end. Thanks for listening, everyone. Don't forget to follow us on social media.
Feel free to comment down below who you think has been the best player in these playoffs.
Thanks for listening. See you guys next time.